So, y'all, I have attempted to put out the episode for this week at least 3 or 4 times, and yet I couldn't get it done. So, let's just talk. Welcome back to the Pink Elephant, guys. I am Shanae, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. And if you came back again, thank you so much for coming back. I love you so much for it. All right. Y'all, I tried to put out my episode at least 3 or 4 times, and I just could not get it out. I had intentions on talking about prints for the season, and not to be confused with the singer Prince. I'm talking about cheetah print, leopard print, all the prints that are going to be in for the fall. And I still plan to get that episode out, but I had to come to the realization that it's just not going to happen this week. And so this is a great time for me to just kind of open up and be candid about things that are happening. Because if you have been following my platform for a while, you know my platform is all about being authentic, and it is definitely for the everyday woman. Okay, so a little bit of background on me, because I do have a lot of new subscribers. So shout out to all my new subscribers. If you are watching this video right now, do me a favor and drop me a heart. Let me know you are new here. And I'm going to give you a hug from where I'm at right now. So I'm giving you a hug right now. And that's for every subscriber, really. But thank you guys. So I am a mom of three, and I'm also a wife. And I recently began to create full time like in June. So, June this year, I started my journey as a full time creator. And I want to kind of set up some things so that I can dispel a lot of the myths around creating and being a creator. Because if you're watching this and you're a creator, I know that you may be able to resonate with this, but a lot of times this doesn't get discussed. Okay. So, for instance, I I attempted to record and put out the episode, and I just, for whatever reason, I just could not get into a flow. And there were other reasons too that were outside of my control that did not really allow me to do what I needed to do in order to prep for the episode. So on Sunday, my son was super clingy. He's 3 years old. He kind of wasn't feeling that well. He only wanted me. And I couldn't even open up my computer to prep for the episode. And just for understanding, when or most creators create, there is a certain level of like prep work that you do. So that means finding links, finding examples. If you're talking about fashion, you might want to like shop around and find best prices, and or do some research on certain things. And so it's a lot of prep that goes into preparing for an episode. It's not like get on and just put everything out. So I definitely want to take this time to say shout out to all the content creators that I've been watching and following over the years. You guys made it look easy, and it's not. It's not easy at all. It's actually a commitment, and it takes a lot of time and discipline to do it. So, all those things I wanted to do and needed to do last week. And so many things just kind of kept happening that was preventing me from being able to give it my full time. So we get to this week. My son had drum circle performance. He had open house. My son plays football, so he has practice 4 times a week. My daughter cheers. She has practice twice a week. My husband's a football coach, so he is away and is gone a lot during the week because he has practice, and so practice is late, and so the food, kids got to eat, kids got homework, somebody need to go to the store to get candy for a fall festival. Like, it's so many things that go on. And I think a lot of times, because we're watching people create and we see influencers on Instagram or on YouTube or on TikTok, we kind of forget that behind those people there are real things happening. And they may not share it, but as I continue to grow and as I continue to build my community and build trust and you guys get to know me, you'll find that I'm pretty much an open book. I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell you the real truth as much as I possibly can, because I know that my platform is for the real woman. My platform is not for the woman who is traveling leisurely and, can pick up and go to Thailand tomorrow. And like, that's not really my platform, because that's not my life. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's just not my life. My life is being a mom, being a wife, being able to be present for the big things that my kids care about. The games on Saturday, we had games all day from 8:30 a.m. to about 2 p.m. on Saturday. So Saturdays, that's that, right? And so I want you guys to be able to resonate with me when it comes to wanting to create, right? You have this itch to create. You love creating. That's your thing. That's your thing you do. It's your outlet. But then you also have real life, and that can sometimes compete with what you want. So I want to take a step back because I want you guys to know, especially for people who are new here, I did an episode a few months back talking about my transition from being in corporate America to being a full-time creator. And during that episode, I talked about the fact that it was nothing but God. Like, I wanted to create for a very long time, but I also had my normal 9 to 5 job, like most people do. And I'd been working in the pharmaceutical space for over 13 years. And so I've had that job or been in that career space for a very long time. I was striving to be very successful, climb the ladder, corporate baddie, all those things, and make money. Like, money was the motive. Okay. And I did all those things, got to a place where I was making the money I wanted to make, but I was absolutely miserable. So I learned a lot within the last couple of years. I learned that I can have money, but for me, money is not going to be the end all for me. I need more. I deserve more. I want more. And if money jeopardizes my peace, my health, my sanity, then it's not good for me. And so I learned that the hard way last year. Okay. And so here I am. I was forced into the transition in being a full time creator. And I say it's nothing but God, because it was really nothing but God. I had been wanting to leave my job for a very long time, and I just did not see a way out because, of course, that's a regular paycheck every other week. You have your benefits, all those things are great. You have your company card, credit card, whatever. And I just didn't know like how that transition would work. Well, in April this year, I found out that my position was going to be eliminated. And in June, that was my last month working my full time job. So in June, I was literally pushed full throttle into being in my platform and working my business full time. And y'all, when I say that, it has been it's been an experience that I am so thankful for. Like, I thank God for how he has truly like prepped and planned and ordered every single step, because had he not, I would be out here just frailing. Like, everything would just be kind of like just going crazy. I would be freaking out. But there is a certain level of peace because I'm in alignment. And to be honest with you guys, I have never been in alignment like this before. So when I say alignment, I mean that before, I felt like I was trying to force everything to work. I was always trying to like figure out how to make something work. It didn't feel right, but I was still trying to figure out a workaround. I didn't want to let it go. And, and I'm not talking about creating, I'm talking about in my life. Like, I knew I had this goal for what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be, but it just didn't work. Like, it just seemed like there was so much resistance there. And I'll just give you this little tip that I've learned. Anytime there's a huge level of resistance, you need to analyze whether or not that's something that you are supposed to do or be at, like the place you're supposed to be. And if it's not, then you need to ask God for guidance, ask the Holy Spirit to really lead you to where you're supposed to be and really be in a place to receive it. Because it's nothing like God opening up doors and you not even nowhere near that door. You ain't even in a neighborhood. You in on some other street. So you can't even walk through the door that's open. It's nothing like it. So now that I am in a place where God can really move and open the doors and I can walk through the doors, it has been such a flow. And I can't even tell you everything that's happened and the flow that's happened, but please go back and watch that episode. I will link that episode in the description box for you to check it out so you can hear the entire story. And I'm talking about my entire story from being at work and being in a place where I felt like I was completely useless. My self esteem was gone. My mental health took a hit. And that's all from being in a place that I had no business being in. Okay. So now being in a space where I am in alignment and I have this like rush and urge to like create. And, I created this flow and this pattern of putting out episodes every single Tuesday, like all those things. And then I get to this week and I'm unable to create. And it's just so frustrating. And so I had to take a step back because I was like, okay, Shanae, why aren't you able to create and get this episode out? Like, what is it that's causing you to doubt yourself or not have a flow or not have the words or not have the energy or the, like, whatever you're missing? What is it? And so, if I can be completely honest with you guys, I am having some health issues right now. And I have a procedure that I actually am having tomorrow, and I have to go under for it. So I have to prep for the procedure today. I have to go under anesthesia tomorrow, and I have that happening this week. And so I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, that might be why I'm unable to allow myself to just let go and create. It could be the space that I'm in where I am maybe uneasy, maybe a certain level of anxiousness, or maybe it's a certain level of like surrender that needs to happen so that I can be where I am right now and allow myself to feel and rest and just kind of sit so that I can move past this moment and go on to the next moment for myself. And once I kind of like sat for a second and I thought about all the big things that's happened this week, of course, Shanae, you're not able to create. Of course, Shanae, you have a mental block. Of course, Shanae, you don't have the words because you're literally in a space of unknown and your body is tired and you have to take care of yourself and you have to know what's going on with your body. And maybe until you get to a place of understanding and all these things are worked out and you can, you know, allow your body to be prepped for the procedure and go through the procedure, you're not going to be able to create. And so by taking a step back, it allowed me to surrender to this particular week and this moment where I'm unable to be consistent. Because if you're anything like me, you want to keep the streak. Like I've been on it for since June. I've been putting out episodes, quality content. I have to pat myself on the back. I've grown on this platform. I've gained new subscribers. Like I've done really, really well, and I'm so thankful for it. But that doesn't mean that though I'm in alignment, other things won't happen that will require me to shift. Ooh, there it is. There it is. This is coming to me right now. It's a shift right now. And one thing that we got to also be aware of or be conscious of is when we need to shift gears. Because if you don't shift gears, you might be going up a hill and you ain't shifting to like another mode so that you can get up the hill. Like you just struggling because you won't shift into another mode. And this is all like coming to me as I'm talking to y'all right now because like if we are not in a space that we can surrender like everything to God and surrender our goals, surrender our passion, surrender our platform, surrender our time, our energy, our mind, then you're never going to be able to move how God needs you to move and be his vessel. Because for me, this platform is definitely something that I want to do. I'm creating, but it's definitely a all God thing because if it were not for him, I would not be in position or in place to be able to have a podcast and be able to pursue it full time. So I say that to say, if you are a creator and you're finding yourself in a rut or you're feeling some type of resistance where you're not able to get your content out, I want to leave you with this thought real quick. A lot of times, like if you like me, last year I spent a lot of time researching looking at other content creators and looking at creators who have tips on how to grow 1,000 subscribers, grow your following on Instagram, grow on TikTok, do this, do that, create a reel every day, do a carousel, post a story. If you've been in that thing, in that like never ending circle, you know how like the advice is just it's like a rat on a wheel. It goes around and around and around and around, and every day things are changing. So Instagram's algorithm changed, and TikTok changes their rules, and then you get on YouTube and you feel like you don't get but 2 views, and then the next day you get 100 views, and then you get 1,000, and so you find yourself just like, what in the world? Like, I want to figure out the secret sauce. I want to grow, but I want you to know something that I'm saying to myself, that because if you are where God has planted you, if you are in alignment, then I want you to know that everything is already yours. The success is yours. The growth is yours. The platform is yours. The brand deals are yours. The travel opportunities are yours. Your monetization is already yours. All those things are already yours. So it doesn't matter if you can create every day based on those tips. It doesn't matter if you are able to create a story, post a reel, do a flip, do a cartwheel, do TikTok dances. Even if you are unable to do all those things, everything that has been promised to you is already yours. So if we really believe that, if we really take our hands off of it and just accept the fact that it's already mine, I already got the deals. I'm already like the interview that I'm going to have with whoever, that you want to have an interview with, or whoever, whatever fashion brand you want to work with, Dove, or working with the Lip Bar, whatever, those things are already done. That's already happened. It's already for you. It's already done. God has already gone before you to make sure those things are in place. So your job right now is to be where your feet are planted. Your job right now is to live in this moment. So during this week, my son had open house, drum circle. My husband had practice. He had a meeting with his coaches on Sunday. My daughter has cheer practice. My son has football practice. All those things were happening this week, and it prevented me from showing up and getting that video recorded. But even though I was unable to get that video out, it doesn't change the fact that this is where I'm supposed to be, and all God's promises for me are already done. It is so. And so I don't have to worry about skipping a week and not being able to get out the episode that I need to get out, because that one episode is not going to influence what God has for me and it being already prepared and ready for me. So take your hands off of it. Take your hands off of it when you need to. Shift gears when you need to. Take care of your body, take care of your mental health, take care of your emotions, because you can't show up anyway if you sick. You can't show up anyway if your mental health is not intact. If your emotional well-being is not good, you can't do what you want to do anyway. So the things that God has already prepared for you, you ain't even going to be able to get to it because you ain't even well enough to receive it. So I say that to say, nothing, no one, no algorithm, no trend, no naysayer, no bad comment that you get, no small views, no small analytics. None of those things can stand in the way of what God has promised you. And I believe that this is where I'm supposed to be. I believe that this is what like God has called. I've been designed to be the pink elephant. I've been designed to have this platform. My voice is so powerful and so instrumental to the calling that's over my life. And so if I really believe that, then I have to know that by me taking a break, or by me stepping away, or me taking care of my kids, showing up to drum circle, me having a procedure tomorrow, me being able to go downstairs and get into bed and drink my Gatorade and my water and watch TV for today is totally okay, because everything that God has for me is going to be there when I get back. It's going to be there when you get back. So I say that to say, for my moms out there who you're feeling overwhelmed, you feel like you didn't do your best this week, you feel like you didn't get to do the things you wanted to do because you had things you had to do. For my moms out there who you're still trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, you're still trying to figure out if you're in alignment. I'll say this: you will know when you're in alignment with what God has called you to do, because it won't feel like it's you trying to figure it out. It'll feel like God has literally placed everything and it's nothing but God. It's like things that you wouldn't even be able to shift gears or move into your path. Those things will be put there. That's when you know you're in alignment. It won't be resistance when it comes to getting started and doing it, because it'll already be set for you. And the blessings that will start to come, and most of all, the peace that comes over you, it will feel like something you've never felt before. That's how you know you're in alignment. So if you are feeling like confusion and resistance and depression, or you're feeling uneasiness or anxiety, or just a certain level of unhappiness, I would ask that you sit down for a moment and really figure out whether or not you are where God would have you to be. And then when you figure out that that's not where you're supposed to be, I need you to be brave enough to move where God has called you to move to. Because that's the part. Because once God shows you that you're not where you're supposed to be, and he shows you where you're supposed to be, it's not over. You got to be brave enough to do and be obedient to what God has told you to do. And then when you get over there and you start being obedient and you brave and you like, okay, God, I'm here. You got to continue to practice obedience, because you'll find that things are still going to pop up and things are still going to happen. So look, y'all, we are just trying to do our best, and we have to give ourselves grace. We have to continue to believe. And I know that sounds cliche, but really believing and not thinking that you believe, but really having it in your heart that you really believe that you are who God has said you are, that's really key. Because of course the comments, the lack of growth, maybe on your platform, maybe your followers, your views, those things can try to dampen your spirit, or kind of like impact the way you feel about yourself. But we got to remember who we are and whose we are. And so I can't wait to come back better than ever next week with a full episode, because guys, I am taking us through a full example and walkthrough of how to build an outfit using prints and colors, because I know that that can be very, very difficult, especially for my girls who are minimalists or girls who are just now trying to step outside the box. So I'm excited to do the episode, but it wasn't meant to come out this week. So do me a favor, be sure to like this video, share this video with friends that you know may be struggling, just to kind of like get their pace. Let them know they're not alone. Let them know, like, moms, like, we out here and we doing it big, okay? We can too be content creators and be influencers, whatever you want to call it, be podcasters, all those things. But we also deal with real life, and real life is not going to stop. So do me a favor, like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. Let the algorithm know that it's a vibe over here. And last but not least, if you're not following me on social media, be sure to check me out on social media at @thepinkelephant_ by Shanae. That's on Instagram and on TikTok. And if you are a Facebook user, you can find me by searching Shanae Pringle. But until next week, guys, I love you so much. Be encouraged and pray for me. And I'm going to be praying for you. Bye, y'all.